Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Coach's Corner, a family fun event for all. Of course, here today, pulling double duty, I'm your host, Paul Vold, also being dad to my youngest, Tate, who is being a little bit under the weather and has a little bit of separation anxiety. But nonetheless, Coach's Corner is brought to you by Simonson Lumber, Marvin Windows and Doors. Joining us today here for a recap on the weekend with the Granite City Lumberjacks is assistant coach Mikey Lawrence. And Coach, thanks so much for joining us today.
It's good to be back. It's been a while.
It certainly has. And of course, it was a eventful weekend on many fronts as well. Of course, a weekend sweep for the team against the Willmar Warhawks, also in the process. Got back tied for first place in the division. Let's start off with the game on Friday. 6-1 victory. A little bit of a sluggish start here for the team, but ultimately pulling things out for that win, of course, but really a big second period. What did you guys really see there from the start of the contest going into that second period? That was a really big difference for the team.
Yeah, it was a good one. You always like winning at home. It feels like it's been kind of a little bit since we've done that, so it was good to give our fans a good show. I think we started out pretty slow. Like, took about 10 minutes to get the legs moving for what excuse, I don't know. But no, we ultimately picked it up, and I think we put in, 5 in the second? So it was a good period. No,
it certainly was, and given the fact, too, the pace throughout the, pretty much from the second period on, even in the last 10 minutes of the first period, from that point on, really a back and forth feel, too, and had to feel good, of course, once you get shake the rust off a little bit, especially against a team like Willmar that's been on a little bit of a hot streak as of late here, play-wise. Had to feel good to at least get the back and forth going a little bit more.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, it was kind of ugly there for a little bit, and then when the game got a little bit of flow, we ended up being able to take over, but Willmar's in a little bit of a rough spot right now, so we got to take advantage of the games and get the points when we can.
Of course, talking about, too, with the team here, we're at a point of the season where rosters are starting to get locked down a little bit more. Few additions as of late. We've seen them over the last few weekends, but of course we did see Baylor Stebbins make his debut for the team here. Of course, he's from Sartell, previously with the Rochester Grizzlies, too, and it looks like early on doing a fair amount of the little things that has been a great impact for the team early on.
Oh yeah, no, Baylor's a great player. We were super ecstatic when he came here. So he's a local guy. I know his mom sponsored the teams for years. Small things from water bottles at the golf outing to her name on the boards. So no, it's nice. It's nice to have him. He's a great player. He's kind of somebody that fits in well here with his style of play. So the transition for him was pretty simple.
No, absolutely. Now, given the fact you ride the momentum of that 6-1 victory on Friday, take it to the road on Saturday with a 13-0 victory against Willmar, too. Again, it was another fast start, and from that point on, the team never certainly looked back in that contest. What was really a big difference from maybe Friday night into Saturday that you really saw there from the team just to come out fast in that contest on Saturday?
Yeah, we asked them to just please play a complete 60. I mean, we've had issues this year. It's always from the start where we're never really going, but we put together 60 good minutes, and you see what happens when we do.
And given the fact, too, that another shutout victory as well. Nathan Mock, he got the start. Didn't start on Friday night, of course. Zach Price, really nice performance in net for him. We'll give him his flowers there. But Mock as well has really started to push himself forward as kind of that, starting goaltender for this team, too. Really nice to see him get that shutout on Saturday also.
Yeah, it's great. I think it's, his second or third already this year. And, it's kind of a trend here. I've noticed that we kind of go 1A, 1B with goaltending, and when a guy gets hot, you got to ride the hot hand, and Mock certainly is right now, so he's our guy.
Of course, Saturday's contest, not only a victory for the team, but also a victory for yourself, with it being a birthday win, too. Sure had to be a nice feeling, of course, getting back on the bus, heading on back, knowing that you got to win on your birthday, too.
Yeah, me and Dill were actually talking before, and we were just saying how nice it would be to put it on cruise control, where you don't have to coach, you don't have to do anything, just kind of sit back and watch them play. And being the birthday, I wanted nothing more than to just sit back and not have to do much. So the boys gave me a pretty good birthday present and couldn't ask for more.
Of course, taking it off cruise control into another full week here of practice, too. Doesn't get any easier. Got a home-and-home matchup against Alexandria. They have been red hot as of late here in the second half of the season, too. Big focus here with this week of practice you guys see with this matchup against Alexandria this weekend.
I think that it's just, dialing in and focusing a lot more. I mean, we're at the point of the year where it's not really X's and O's anymore. It's staying healthy, staying limber, making sure everybody's on the same page, and it's fine-tuning things in practice rather than really working on them. But no, Alex is hot right now, and we were talking on the bus, this is the biggest weekend of the year that we have coming up. I mean, we're tied for first, so every point counts, and they did us a little favor last weekend, but we got to repay it now.
And again, that'll be a matchup here against Alexandria this weekend. Friday at home with the Alexandria Blizzard. 7:30 puck drop from Miller Buick GMC Arena. Then Lumberjacks hit the road on Saturday to take on the Blizzard once again. Assistant coach Mikey Lawrence joins us here this week, along with my co-host Tate Paul Jacob Vold. I'm your host Paul Vold here with Coach's Corner. We'll step aside here for a quick break. And of course, Coach's Corner is brought to you by Simonson Lumber, Marvin Windows and Doors. We'll be back right after this.
Discover precision engineering, exceptional thermal performance, authentic modern design. Marvin Modern.
Welcome back here to Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Paul Vold. Of course, Coach's Corner is brought to you by Simonson Lumber, Marvin Windows and Doors. Got two players here this week. A couple of new faces that have been making a great impact for your Granite City Lumberjacks. Got number 26, Tyler Starich, and number 3, that being Baylor Stebbins. Fellas, thanks so much for joining us this week.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Of course, it was another great weekend for you guys, of that being the Lumberjacks too, getting a weekend sweep against Wilmer. Tyler, we'll start off with you talking here about the game on Friday. 6-1 victory. A little bit of a sluggish start here for the team, but really opened things up there in those last two periods. How'd you guys feel about getting the win there on Friday to start off the weekend?
Yeah, it was nice being back at home. I mean, the energy in this rink is electric. I mean, thanks for all the fans coming out, all the support. But really, we're starting to peak at the right time and coming together as a group. Even with the new guys, it was nice. It was good to get a win.
Absolutely. And talking about it too, of course, with it being a home matchup, this is your first home game too. Of course, you've played here in the past as a visitor, a little bit of a tough environment. Of course, you personally, how'd you feel about, of course, making your home debut for the team?
Yeah, it was nice to get a goal here in this rink on the home side. Being a visitor, it's one of the hardest rinks to play in. I mean, the fans can be brutal, so it was nice to have the support with me this time.
Absolutely. And of course, Baylor, we'll talk to you here talking about the game on a Saturday. 13-0 victory. Of course, it was a fast start for the team. I'm sure maybe just something keel over from Friday night's game, a little bit of a slow start. But then you go into Saturday, and you guys seemed like you guys were going right from the very jump. How'd the team feel there to at least get that Saturday contest rolling fast?
Yeah, Saturday was great for us. We kept our foot on the gas the whole way, didn't let off, and ended up potting 13, just rolling the whole way.
Of course, you also get your first as a Lumberjack, too. I'm sure probably in the past here, maybe coming up through the years, you maybe caught a few Lumberjack games in the past. Now getting your chance here to put on the local sweater, too, had to feel real nice here these last couple games, too.
Yeah, it was unreal. Being back close to home, playing for the hometown team, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, of course, with another matchup coming up here this weekend, of course, a sweep for the team. Now we've got another home-and-home matchup coming up here this weekend. Tyler, of course, with another week of preparation here. Of course, we get back to our schedule, earlier in the week here with our conversation, too. What do you guys see here as kind of some things that the week of practice just kind of get back into the flow of things here with this matchup against Alexandria?
Yeah, Alex is a good team. They're hot right now. A couple new additions. They're fast, good in transition, and they got some goal scorers. So we're just really trying to shut down what we can and stick to our structure, because when we play our game, we're the best team in the division.
Absolutely. Stebbs, what about you? What do you see here? Maybe just a couple of things to kind of fine-tune and really get into the flow of things with this matchup against Alex.
Yeah, I know they like to stretch the zone a lot, so just make sure we're staying on the D side and not let them come up with speed.
Yeah, we certainly do appreciate it. Again, it's Tyler Starich and Baylor Stebbins joining us here this week. Let's get to some rapid-fire questions. Guys, ready for these?
As ready as we can.
All right, let's do it. Start here, pregame routine. I know you guys here have joined here later in the season here with Granite City. You guys have obviously started somewhere else to begin the year. Pregame routine, what gets you started for a game day? Does it start right away in the morning, right before you get to the rink? What gets you in that right mindset to start the day?
Yeah, I mean, coming in, practice is part of the preparation. So waking up at the same time, getting in a good breakfast, a coffee, and to keep the legs moving during the day. So whether that's go walk around town or hang out with some guys, try to keep it pretty loose and then flip that switch when we get to the locker room.
Stubbs, how about you? What's your pregame routine to get you going for a game day?
I'm a big wake up early in the morning, get the legs moving, and then it's a mandatory pregame nap in the afternoon for me.
I like that. I like that. Starich, of course, we have known your a little bit of culinary skills, if you will, at least your choice of eatery. What's the go-to pregame meal for you?
You know, I like to cook, but I keep it pretty simple on the game day just to get in those proteins and carbs. So I'm sticking with the white rice and chicken, and then some vegetables, maybe carrots, broccoli, and then getting as much water as I can.
Absolutely. Stebbs, how about you? What's the pregame meal for you?
It's very similar. I'm either chicken and rice or ground beef and rice. Just
I like
keep it very
that. I like
simple.
that. Another one here for you guys. Of course, you guys have played on some different teams here. Maybe you've played at a few different venues as well. Favorite away rink that you've played at here at the NA3 level?
Favorite away rink? For me, I will say that North Iowa has a pretty sweet rink. I mean, it's a nice stadium. They do well with the lights. The ice is usually pretty solid, and they have a good crowd too. So I'd say, yeah, North Iowa.
Say for me, playing over in West Bend, they always pack it.
Absolutely.
They got guys sitting behind the net tapping on the glass with quarters, always doing something to get you off your game.
I like that. Now, it doesn't have to be an answer here for the team that you currently play for. Favorite jersey that you've worn maybe throughout the years of growing up playing hockey?
You know, I was lucky to be a part of the Hockey Day in Minnesota, so that's for sure my favorite jersey. I mean, the cream was a really good look.
Yep.
I think my favorite jersey was last year in Rochester on Polar Plunge Night. We had some
Yes.
pretty sick baby blue and white jerseys.
Those are those ones I definitely look forward to, of course, being a native of the area too. Most used emoji that you use on your phone? Maybe even on Snapchat. What's the go-to emoji for you guys?
Yeah. For me, it might come as a surprise, but I like the emoji with the dollar sign. He's coming out. He's got his tongue out.
Yep.
I just think it's like, oh, that's money. Like I don't know. That's kind of what my go-to is.
Steps up at you. What's the go-to?
It's either the handshake one,
Okay.
or the salute.
I like that. I like that. What is one item that you cannot live without?
Oh man, I would say. I mean, I heard phone in the past, but I try to get away with that. I would say probably a car. I like to travel,
All right.
so get to some mountains, go hiking, do a lot.
I like that. Stebbs, how about you? What's your one item you can't live without of?
Probably just the phone.
The phone. Can't go wrong with
Can't
that.
go wrong.
Favorite hockey memories you guys have had all through the years, maybe at the junior level, high school, everything. What's been your favorite memory of playing hockey?
For me, I would say I was lucky. I went to a prep school out in Cleveland. We had a close group, and so I think we won a championship there as a team, and so it was really a team win, and that's got to be my favorite memory.
I like it. I like it. Stebbs, how about you? What's your favorite hockey
I
memory?
think my favorite memory is back in Pee Wees for youth hockey. You made it to the state championship.
Okay, I like that. All right, I know you guys have only been here just a handful of weeks, or maybe even less time as well. Guys on the team here, of course, we're going to start throwing a few guys under the bus here. Who's got the best and worst style on the team? Off ice, on ice, who's got some questionable looks there?
All right, I'm gonna say off ice. I think Razor's got some good style to him.
Okay.
Mason Ray, I think he's got some good style.
All right.
If I gotta go worst on ice style is, I mean, I saw a Dodger with a pretty bad bucket after he left his, so I'm gonna have to say that.
Okay. All right.
You know, I haven't been here long, but I can tell you the worst is definitely Howie.
I love that.
Best.
And that's not just because he's sitting off camera here this
No,
week.
absolutely
so.
not. I've had the pleasure of playing with Howie a little before this. So, best, I don't know, maybe Uth.
All right. I like that. Who on the team here has got the best and worst chirps? Guys that maybe just like, what are you even thinking about when you say something? Ones are like, man, that's pretty creative. Who's the best and worst chirper on the team?
Best, I think Turbo's got some good chirps.
Okay.
He's had some pretty funny ones in the recent games. Worst, I would say, man, I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus there. I think Turbo's got some funny ones though.
Okay.
I always laugh when he
Okay.
says something.
I like that.
Yeah, Turbo's a good one. I feel like Zell's always running his mouth too a lot. I don't know if anyone has any bad ones that I've heard yet so far, though.
All right, I like that. Make sure you guys wipe that off there. It might be a little brown here towards the end. But even with, of course, Super Bowl this past Sunday, maybe you're cheering for the Seahawks or not. What was the favorite Super Bowl commercial that you saw?
Favorite commercial had to be, oh man, there was a good Liquid IV one.
Yes.
That one was really funny. I mean, with the porta potty, I mean, that made me laugh. That was good.
There's a nice one right away in the game with a little reference to the Good Will Hunting movie.
Yes, I love that. That was a good one, too.
That was a good
I
one.
love that. Last one here for you guys. Maybe you indulged a little bit on Super Bowl Sunday, food-wise. What were you guys munching down on with Super Bowl foods?
You know, I try to stay pretty healthy, but I had a good sized bag of popcorn from Costco. I had almost the whole bag.
Nice, nice.
I was actually sitting right next to Star, and I had a couple handfuls of popcorn as well.
Sharing is caring. We certainly do appreciate the sharing and also the caring here. Number 26, Tyler Starich, and number 3, Baylor Stebbins join us here this week on Coach's Corner. Again, your Lumberjacks back in action coming up this weekend. Friday, Saturday will be a home-and-home matchup against Alexandria Blizzard. Friday at home, Miller Buick GMC Arena, 7:30 puck drop. Then they'll hit the road on Saturday as well against the Blizzard. You can stay up to date with your score schedules, broadcast times, and much more. Go to na3hl.com. Be sure to also follow us on our social media platforms. This is Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Paul Vold. Coach's Corner is brought to you by Simonton Lumber, Marvin Windows and Doors, and we'll check in with you guys next week.